Hi students, the new topic is projectile. So what is this projectile? Projectile is any body which is thrown into air by making some angle theta with horizontal, but the theta should not be equal to 90 degrees. So projectile, a body projected or thrown into air with some initial velocity at an angle theta, but theta is other than 90 degrees. That means it should not become 90 with the horizontal is known as projectile. So what are the examples for this projectile? Now if you see a football kicked by a player, so when the football is kicked here, it will move in this path. So here it is given some initial velocity u and it is kicked at an angle theta with the horizontal. See, this is a body, ball is a body thrown into air or kicked into air here with some initial velocity. So velocity was given here at an angle theta. So it is kicked at an angle theta with horizontal, but this theta should not be equal to 90. Suppose if theta equal to 90, what happens? Let us say if it is kicked exactly in this direction, that means if this angle is 90 degrees with the horizontal, then we call this as a vertically thrown up body. Vertically thrown up body means here the body is moving along a straight line. So this is moving in one dimension. But here projectile is an example for motion in two dimension. So here when the ball is moving along this path, it has two directions. That means this ball, when kicked from point O, let us say the ball reached at a point B after some time. So after some time, the ball has traveled some horizontal distance and the ball has traveled some vertical distance or displacements. That means ball is not moving in one dimension. See, ball is moving along x-axis as well as y-axis. As a result, it is reaching this point. That means the projectile is an example for motion in two dimension. So projectile, an example for motion in two dimensions. That means this body will have horizontal velocity as well as vertical velocity, horizontal displacement as well as vertical displacement, horizontal acceleration as well as vertical acceleration. So some more examples. First one, ball kicked by player, stone thrown from a point on the earth. So you can give infinite examples for these projectiles. Now, how to find the path of a projectile, whether it is a straight line? No, it is clear that it is not moving along a straight line. Here, the initial direction was like this. After that direction, the direction of this one, already we discussed this, direction of the body moving in a curved path, direction of the motion or velocity is given by the tangent drawn at that point. When the body reaches here, draw a tangent. This is the direction of motion. When the body reaches this point, this is the direction of motion. That means the direction of motion is changing from point to point. It is not fixed. So this direction can be resolved into two components. That means this displacement can result into two components, or even the velocity can result into two components. So if a body has two directions that is velocity, it can have velocity in two directions or displacement in two directions. It may have velocity as well as displacement. So, if a body has two directions for velocity or two directions of displacement, then that body is known as a projectile body. So, how to prove the path of this one is not a straight line? Here it is clear that if you observe the path of this one, it is moving along a curved path. So, this is a parabola. This is a parabola. How to prove that the path of a projectile is parabola? And 100% we can say that it is not a straight line. So, we will prove it now. Now, we will prove that the path of a projectile is a parabola. We know that y is equal to mx is the equation of a straight line. So, what is the meaning of this one? If you take a table here, this is x value, this is y value. Let us say m is the, we know that is the slope of the straight line. Let us say slope is equal to 3. Now, if you take x is equal to 1, what is y value? 3. If you take x is equal to 2, 2 3s are, y value 6. If you take x is equal to 5, 5 3s are 15. Now, if you want to draw the corresponding graph for this equation y is equal to mx, so let me take, this is x axis and this is y axis. This is 5, 10, 15. This here I will take this as 1, 2, 3, 4 and then this is 5. Now, in this one, if I want to show this relation in a graph, when x is equal to 1, y was 3. So, somewhere here, this is 3. When x is equal to 2, y was 6, this one at this point. When x is equal to 5 and y was 15, so this one. So, if you join these, you will get a straight line. So, y is equal to mx is a equation of straight line, where m is the slope. That means, the angle made by this graph with x axis slope. And if you construct this right angle triangle here, what is this tan theta opposite side? This is how much? 15. What is the adjacent side here? 5. So, slope is equal to 3. So, this is an equation of straight line, y is equal to mx. Similarly, if you take y is equal to mx plus c, where c is a constant. So, in this case also, let me take m is equal to some constant 3 and let us say this is 5. Now, you take a graph here and here one table, this is x, this is y. Suppose if you keep x 0, y value will be 0 into 3, 0 plus 5, y is 5. Suppose if you take 1 here, x is equal to 1, 3 1s are 3 plus 5, this will be 8. If you take x is equal to 2, 2 3s are 6 plus 5, 11. So, if you take x is equal to, this will be 11. So, this is an numbers that indicates x and y here. Now, what are the x values here? This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is x axis and this is 5, 10, 15. Now, when x is equal to 0, already y is equal to 5. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 8. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 11. So, this is also a straight line. So, both are the equations of straight line, that is y is equal to mx or y is equal to mx plus c. These are the equations of straight line. Now, suppose if the equation given is y square is equal to 4ax. These two are straight line equations. Now, this is a different equation, you can see this one there. It is a first order only, x power 1, y power 1. So, this is called first order equation. But here, this is y square is equal to 4ax, but x power 1, y square, that is the second degree in y and the first degree in x. Suppose if the equation is like this, then what we can draw, that means which type of diagram that we are going to get in this case. So, this is x axis, this is y axis. Now, in this case, let me take the table here. These are x values, these are y values. First, let me take x is equal to 0. if you keep x is equal to 0, this 4a may be any real number, but positive or negative, maybe. Let me take positive number here. Let us say 4a is equal to 10. A is equal to 2.5, but 4a is equal to 10. Now, what is y value? 0 into 10 is equal to 0, y square is 0, and y is equal to 0. Suppose, if x is equal to 1, so this will become 1 into 10, y square is equal to 10, y is equal to plus or minus root 10. That means y can be either plus 10 or minus 10. Now, suppose if y is equal to 2, so 2 into 10, 20. So y square is equal to 20, y is equal to plus or minus root 20. So these values depends upon this x value. So now if y is equal to 5, 5 into 10, 50, y square is plus or minus root 50. So these are the values that are going to get here. Now let me draw the graph for this one. Y value I have taken root 50 means nearly 7. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here I will take similarly here let me take this as 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8 like this. Now in this case if you extend this one up to here, this is y axis. Now let me draw the graph here. For here y value both positive as well as negative. So I have to take the values along negative y axis also. So this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7 and so on. Now the corresponding graph will be when x is equal to 0, y is equal to, that is the origin. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to root 10. Root 10 means 3.3 something. So this will be y value around 3.2. So these are the values here y. Similarly at the same value here this one will be like this. Here also this can be negative also, root 10 means nearly 3.2. Next, when x is equal to 2, y value root 20, root 16 is 4. So this will be more than 4 or less than 5. So between 4 and 5. So between 4 and 5 somewhere. So this value at 2, this will be the point, and in this case this will be the point. Now if you see this graph, if you join this with a smooth curve here, so this, you will get a curve. This curve is called parabola. So this is called a parabola. So this is open along x-axis. This parabola is open along positive x-axis. Suppose if y square is equal to minus 4x, it will be opposite. X square is equal to 4ay, it will be like this. That you will learn in second PUC mathematics, not in first PUC. But here, if any equation is, that means if a given equation is 1 degree in both x and y, it is a straight line. Here, x power 1, y power 1. This is x power 1, y power 1. So then you will get a straight line. But if x is having 1 degree and y is having 2 degree, then it is a parabola. Or similarly, if you take y is equal to ax minus bx square, see this equation. Here y is 1 degree, x is as well as 1 degree as well as 2 degree. Then also this is also an equation for parabola. So based on this concept, now we will prove that the path of a projectile is a parabola. The path of a projectile is a curved path. The trajectory is a parabola. So the path of a projectile is parabola. Path is nothing but the trajectory along which the body can move is known as a parabola. Here, let me take x-axis here, y-axis here. So this is the origin of the coordinate axis. So from this origin, let us throw one body. So here we are throwing a body with some initial velocity. Generally we denote V naught in PUC. and the angle of projection, that means angle at which the body is thrown with the horizontal, is called angle of projection theta. So as it goes in this parabolic path, we are proving that this is parabola, equation of parabola. So now this is the introduction. So write the introduction now. Consider a body is thrown from point O, so this point is O, with some initial velocity with an initial velocity v naught at an angle theta with the horizontal. So this is the introduction. Now, if you observe this diagram, when the body is thrown from point O, as it goes, let us say, let me take one point here P. When the body, here we call it as the body, from now onwards we will call it as a projectile only. So this projectile has reached some point P after some time. So when it reaches this point, you can see it has travelled some distance along x-axis, and similarly it has travelled some distance along y-axis. So projectile has two dimensions, that means motion along two dimensions. One is along x-axis and one more is along y-axis. If a body is moving along x-axis, let us say only purely along x-axis, that we call it as a one-dimensional motion. So if body is moving along x-axis, its velocity must be along x-axis only. If a body is moving along y-axis, thrown vertically upwards, so what we can say, it has initial velocity along y-axis. Here the initial velocity is along x-axis. But what about this projectile? When the projectile is moving from O to P, when it reaches point P, what we can say, it travels some displacement along x-axis, it covered some displacement along x-axis, it covered some more displacement along y-axis. So that means this projectile has two velocities, but in this diagram we have given only V naught. V naught is neither along x-axis nor along y-axis. V naught is inclined with x-axis. That means this vector, that initial velocity vector which is given as V naught, can be resolved into two components here. So we know how to resolve a given vector into two components. If it is V naught, this can resolve along x-axis as well as along y-axis. So the initial velocity of the projectile, which was given as V naught, can be resolved into two components. So what are those two components here? One is a horizontal component of velocity, the other one is a vertical component of velocity. Here the initial velocity V naught, the initial velocity, that is V naught, can be resolved into two rectangular components. So what are those two rectangular components? One along x-axis, one along y-axis. So component of velocity along x-axis, component of velocity along x-axis. So how to get this one? Here let me show how to resolve this V naught into rectangular components. So if it is V naught, if it is theta, and this is a velocity along x-axis, this is velocity along y-axis. Now if you construct a right angle triangle here, I need this value and I know this value as V naught. So cos theta is equal to this Vx by this V naught. So what is Vx? V naught to cos theta. Vx is the horizontal component of velocity. This is a component of velocity along x-axis, also called a horizontal component of initial velocity, which we can write directly V naught cos theta. Similarly, in the same diagram, if you take sin theta, which is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side is nothing but Vy. Hypotenuse is V naught. So, Vy is equal to V naught sin theta. Here what I am going to write, the horizontal component of initial velocity is V naught cos theta. Now, vertical component of velocity, initial velocity, here you can write this as V naught sin theta. That means when the projectile is moving like this, it has velocity along x-axis as well as along y-axis. Due to this V naught cos theta, it is traveling this distance. Due to this V naught sin theta, it is traveling in along y direction. So, it has two directions. Just like I said earlier, if it is the chariot and if somebody is pulling this in this direction and some more people are pulling in this direction, it will move in the resultant direction. Here also, resultant of V naught cos theta, V naught sin theta is V naught. If you add these two, you will get V naught, or if you resolve these two, this one, you will get two more components as V naught cos theta, V naught sin theta. So, here let me denote this components of velocities here. Here the velocity along x-axis is V naught cos theta, here this is V naught sin theta. Now, here component of velocity along x-axis and y-axis, because we are finding both components of velocity. So, horizontal component is V naught cos theta and the vertical component of velocity is V naught sin theta. Now, in this case, what is the acceleration of this body? You see, when the projectile is moving from O to P, it is moving upwards also in this direction. It is traveling some vertical displacement and it is traveling some horizontal displacement. The only force that is acting on this body is gravitational force. So, here in the definition of projectile, in some books what they are giving, any body thrown into air, any body thrown into air with some initial velocity at an angle theta with horizontal, here theta is not equal to 90, moves only under gravity. Is known as projectile. So, extra addition here, this will move only under the gravity, that means no other forces are acting. Here, when the body is moving, the other forces may be some electric force, some electric field, or due to a magnet, this body, let us say it is an iron ball, it may be attracted towards the magnet, but all those forces, external forces were removed. That means this body is moving only under the influence of gravitational field of earth. So, in this case, no other force is acting, the only one force is acting on a projectile, that one force is gravitational force. So, here what we can say, this will be controlled by the earth gravity only. All these projectiles will be controlled by earth gravity. So, only gravitational force is acting here. How the gravitational force will act? Vertically downwards. So, what is the acceleration on this body? This acceleration is acting vertically downwards. When the body moves from O to A, the acceleration is acting vertically downwards. But initially it is moving up, but acceleration is down. So, this acceleration is negative. Why? Because it is moving against the gravitational pull of earth. So, acceleration will be negative along y-axis. But what is the acceleration along x-axis? Gravity always acts only towards the center of the earth. So, there is no gravity along x-axis. So, in this direction gravity is not present. In this direction, no other acceleration is there, because in this direction, no force is acting. Only force is gravitational force. All other forces are absent in this case. Then only we call it as a projectile. So, a projectile is any body which is thrown into air with some initial velocity with an angle theta, but theta should not become 90, but moves only under the gravity, only under the influence of the gravitational force. So, here the gravity is acting only along y axis. So, the acceleration is also along y axis, but no forces along x axis, no acceleration, and that means no gravitational force in this direction. So, here what we can say, when the body is moving along x axis, so let me consider the motion along x axis. Motion along x axis. If you consider motion of this body along x axis, so what are the known quantities here? The known quantities are, the first one, initial velocity of this projectile along x axis. Initial velocity. What is the initial velocity along x axis? This is the horizontal component of initial velocity, which is given by v naught cos theta. And what is the displacement along x axis? This is motion along x axis from O to P. That means when the body reached point P, so till then we are discussing this one, till that case only. So, what is the displacement along x axis? What is the displacement here? From here to P, so along x axis, this I denoting with x. So, every time I am not writing displacement along x axis, but side heading itself is motion along x axis. Now, what is the acceleration? The acceleration along x axis. So, just now we discussed this case, projectile is a body which will be influenced by only gravitational force. That means, it will be having acceleration only along a negative y axis. So, there is no acceleration for any projectile along positive x axis or positive negative x axis. So, this acceleration in this case is 0. So, what is the time taken by this particle to move from O to P? So, let me take this as a time taken to reach that point P from O. So, this is T. You can see this equation, these conditions or these data V naught, initial velocity, displacement, acceleration, time. So, in which equation we can substitute this one? So, from first lesson, that is motion in a straight line. So, this is a second equation of motion along a straight line. We are using, because I am taking only along x axis. So, this is motion along x axis, only some part of it. So, here what I am going to use, x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. This is the equation. Now, substitute these equations here. X is equal to displacement x only. V naught in this case is v naught cos theta along x axis. The time taken is t plus half a t square. We know that the acceleration is 0. This term will be 0. I am not substituting that one. Actually, I can substitute this one, half 0 into t square is 0. Now, from this, what is the time taken? The time taken by this particle to reach point P is given by the displacement along x axis by the velocity along x axis. So, let me take this as equation 1. Now, after this, now let me consider motion along y axis now. So, if you consider the motion along y axis, in that case, what are the known quantities? Along y axis, we know the initial velocity, which is v naught sin theta. We know the displacement, which is equal to y. We know the acceleration there, as the body is under the influence of earth, gravitational influence of earth. So, what we can write? Motion along x axis is over. Now, motion along y axis. This is also from O to P only. So, in this case, what are the known quantities? The initial velocity of this body along y axis is v naught sin theta. Displacement, I am denoting this with y. So, displacement along y axis is given by displacement is equal to y. The acceleration in this case is, remember, the body is moving from O to P in the vertical upward direction, but the gravitational pull is towards downward direction. So, this A will be g, the acceleration will be minus g against the gravity, and the time taken, see, when the body moves from O to P, it is taking t seconds to reach this point along x axis. Along y axis will take same time only, because this is a single body moving from here to here. If it is taking t seconds along x axis, it will take same t seconds along y axis. So, time taken on, we know the x, this one, which is given by x by v naught to cos theta, because same time. Now, you can see I am going to use the same expression here also for along y axis also, because I know the initial velocity, the displacement, the acceleration and the time. So, now let me use the same expression here, x is equal to v naught to t plus half a t square. But here displacement in general denoted with x in expression, but here the displacement is y. So, y is equal, what is the initial velocity along y axis? This is v naught sin theta. And what is the time taken for this particle to reach point P? This is x by v naught cos theta plus half into a is equal to minus g, acceleration is minus g, and t is equal to this one, because t square I need. So, t square means x square by v naught cos square theta. So, this is the expression. Now, you can cancel this v naught and v naught here. Y can be written as sin theta by cos theta into x minus g by 2 x square by v naught square cos square theta. What is sin by cos? We know that y is equal to tan theta into x minus, this is g by 2 v naught square cos square theta into x square. This is the equation of this motion. Here I am not using only x axis, I am not using only y axis. Here, after finding the time along x axis, I am substituting this in y direction. That means, I am considering the both motions here, both x axis as well as y axis. Now, in this case, this is the final expression, and what are the constants here? If you observe this equation, y is equal to is a variable. Why? Because it means if I take point P here, this is y. If you take point P somewhere here, y will change. That means y is a variable. So, this is a variable. Tan theta, the body thrown at an angle theta initially. This angle, initial angle of projection never changes here. So, this is a constant, tan theta. Now, x, suppose if you take y this much, this is x. If you take this as y dash and corresponding x is also changing, x dash. So, that means y depends on x. So, this is also a variable. So, these are the variables here, y and x. So, g value we know that 9.8, which is constant, 2 is constant, initial velocity square, and in this problem v naught remains as v naught only always, and theta is constant, cos square is constant. But what is x square? Whenever y changes, x changes. So, this equation can be written as y is equal to a constant into x minus another constant into y. This constant, let me take it as a into x, where a is equal to tan theta. This I will take b into x square. So, this is the equation of this projectile, and you can see this equation is in the form of y is equal to ax minus bx square. As I explained earlier, if the equation is in the form of y square is equal to 4ax, or x square is equal to 4ay, or y is equal to ax minus bx square, or x is equal to ay minus by square. That means, if x is in 1 degree here, this is 1 degree, this is 2 degree, but if y is only in 1 degree, then this is a equation of parabola. That's why we can say that the trajectory or the path, the trajectory of a projectile is a parabola. How we can say that it is a parabola? Because I got an equation whose form is in the form of a parabola equation. So, as it represents parabola, y is equal to ax minus bx square represents parabola. The path of projectile is a parabola.